Oh, hello up there. So we're here, class number 4 with Jimmy. Jimmy, how was your week? Any misadventures, adventures?
No adventures. It was a very quiet week. I was thinking of looking forward to this all week, trying to get this base started and hopefully maybe get to the fabric, but we'll see. We'll see how much time we
Speaking
have.
of fabric, do you want to show people the fabric that you chose?
Yes, I do. This is something that I got about a month ago when I decided to do this project. And right now it seems to be matching pretty much to what I have in mind.
Oh, I like it. It's going to run the other way though, right?
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, so we're going to
So it's
run it
gonna
this
go
way.
like-
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea of an up and down on this? Do you think it matters? I'm looking at it. I mean, it definitely is going to go up and down, but
Right.
do you think it matters? I don't think it really matters which way up it. I don't think there's an up and down to it. I think you can.
No, I mean the way the pattern's running, it's all going to be
Right, but the point is, when you do pick which side, you have to stick to it and make it all.
Oh
work
yeah,
like that.
well yeah. Once I
You'll do
start,
that.
you got to keep going with it.
Okay, so we can put that aside for now, and I was looking at some of the old materials that we saved from the chair. I think the coconut here was good that we saved, right?
Oh.
And then we added on the padding last week, and I think it feels pretty good.
Okay.
But I was looking at the cotton. I think the cotton it's come to the end of its life, as they say. You know?
Really? So
Yeah.
so what happens with it once you get rid of it?
I throw it away. I have to
Yeah.
throw it away. But the nice thing is that this will go into the landfill quite nicely, right? It's
Really?
cotton. Sure, it's cotton.
Okay.
Maybe if we're lucky, we get a couple of new cotton plants out of it growing in.
Oh,
some
I didn't know
landfill.
we could do that. I'll have to look at my horticulture.
No, I don't want to get a call from a botanist out there
Oh,
saying
yeah,
that's
you-
impossible.
I guarantee you will.
And so we'll get rid of that too. So we're starting fresh, except that we agreed. I think the unit that's in there is in pretty good shape.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So because we're going to be doing mitered corners here.
Okay.
And I think what I want you to do is make a muslin piece for this. So I'm going to give you some instructions just to get you started.
Okay.
I think it might be a good idea for people when they start this to actually draw it out. So I'm going to draw it out. This is what the goal that we have. I'm going to draw it out what this is going to look like.
Okay.
This is the deck portion. I'll explain this in a minute. We're going to go right from the back.
Okay.
So on your chair, it's going to go right to the back, and then it was down in here. It had a double piping or something covering it, but we're going to attach it here.
Okay.
But these pieces, this has to be a mitered piece and mitered piece here. So my pen is working.
Kind of working. It's Friday.
Yeah. So we're going to go. Yeah. This is the deck.
Okay.
This is going to be called the deck. So what I want you to do, jumping ahead a little bit, I want you to chalk this out. I have a yardstick here, and I want Jimmy to really try to get a good measurement on this and try to get it as straight as possible. But I need a chalk line this way, and this way, straight as you can get it.
Okay.
So that would require you, maybe going into the furthest point here. Let's say this is 6 inches. And you're going to draw that 6 inches here, even though the spring work is telling you to come here.
Okay.
It's more important to get the line straight. And then across the here, it could be 6 inches too. I'm not sure. I'll let you do that. And then you're going to chalk it. I have a piece of chalk there. But our goal is you're going to do that first.
Okay.
And then we're going to cut some muslin pieces.
Okay.
All right.
Hold on.
They have to come around here and attach here, Jimmy. They don't have to go all the way down. They just have to attach here.
Okay.
So I want you to measure this, and I'm going to check your measurements.
Oh boy.
So the first thing I want you to do is draw out the deck. So Jimmy's going to draw out the deck on the chair, and then we're going to he's going to measure, and I'm going to check his measurements. I want him to label it too, just to see how well he does. Because you got a left, you got a right, and you got a front, right?
So.
And use our method over here. Let me just label it out for you. Left seat, right seat, which should be the same rough measurement. Now, when you're doing these rough measurements, you don't care about the miter. You're getting your furthest measurements first.
Okay.
So that's just a tip. And remember, you add like on this here, you can add 2 inches.
Okay.
And then front seat. So I'm giving you a lot here. Jimmy's gonna draw this out as really straight as he can on the deck. Then he's gonna measure the left seat, which has an up and down. Like this is what we use. You've seen other videos. You guys know this is how we like to measure out our fabric. We like to there are two measurements for each section, right? So Jimmy's going to get an up and down measurement on the seat and a side to side measurement on each seat, and he's going to fill these in. And don't worry, I'll check them. Okay?
Oh, I get graded today?
Yeah.
Oh,
I tell you, the gold stars are just flying out of this place, like last week.
Oh yeah, right. How many did I get? None.
I think they fell into that black hole.
Yeah. Actually, it's probably somewhere in the chair. It's just, along with the cotton.
I'm going to leave you alone to your meditations. But what I'm going to do, Jimmy, if you don't mind, I'm going to turn the chair for people to see what you're doing, see what you're up to here.
Oh God.
Okay, so you can work from the front.
So it's 6 inches, you said, correct?
Yeah, it should be about 6 inches.
So I'm measuring from the back also, Kevin?
You're measuring from the back. Show me where you're measuring.
From here? This?
No.
No. Okay.
So the way it's going to be is, it's a good question. This is going to tack down in here.
Okay.
So it just comes from this way. That looks good. Do you want me to check?
That's a small seat. Somebody's got a small
Yeah, it is. It is. That's the deck portion.
Oh,
and that brings up a good point. The deck on this is supposed to be lower than the seat area so that the cushion kind of nestles in there nice. You don't want to rely solely on the arms. And if you notice these arms, the cushion probably isn't going to come around this too well. Some of them are really cut out, but this one isn't. It's pretty straight.
Okay.
But this whole process of making mitered corners and filling out this and making these lines is so that the deck, which is this part, is lower than the seat in order for the cushion to kind of nestle in there.
Okay.
So it's really important. The other thing about this chair, if you notice, I just want to turn this to the camera, just so you don't have to do anything, Jimmy. I just want to show people. This has an angle. It angles this way at about 9 or 10 degrees, and it angles this way about 8 or 9 degrees. So what that does for a side chair that doesn't have a lot of padding, that's a good chair. When you look at a piece of furniture, if you're buying new furniture out there, go to the side of it, look at the side and see if they've kept it. It's a basic rule of upholstering. Most of the furniture today is wedge. It's just like this. You sit in that, and you're going to be calling your chiropractor in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So the human form wants to sit like this, right? And that's how this chair. Like this. That's how this chair is designed. So it's a really good design. So you're enhancing the design by doing this. So the next thing I want you to do is think about up and down and side to side measurements when you're measuring this, because you need 2 for each one, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna let you go on that and just kind of work it out and put the numbers down on the paper. Then I'll check them and I'll talk to you a little bit about that. Okay.
So I'm measuring which way am I?
Can I give you a little clue?
Yes.
So you have a perfect fabric to put in your mind. Let's call it a stripe because it has a vertical, right? So your stripe has to come this way, and over here it comes this way.
Okay.
So that's a clue as to how you measure that and to where you put your measurements. But I'm going to let you fly with it. It's your furthest measurement too. It's your furthest measurement.
So I'm basically measuring the entire base.
You're measuring 3 different pieces. I mean, two pieces will be the same measurement, honestly. The left and the right one will be the same.
Okay.
But the seat and the seat will be separate. So you're only measuring rectangles. I don't know if that helps you. I'm kind of putting you on the spot here a little bit because I want them to kind of, this is what I do to students. Sometimes we have 10 students in a class. I'll give these instructions to Jimmy or anybody else and I'll walk away. And then when I come back, I'll just see how they reasoned it out to see if they're thinking. And I will say, before I walk away from Jimmy, I will tell him one thing. So this is how you measure, right? 3 different pieces.
Okay.
But think about your stripe going this way, and on the seat over here, it has to go this way. So that's a clue as to where you put your measurement on the paper. I'm going to walk away. We'll just see how Jimmy does, and we'll talk a little bit more. How you doing, Jimmy?
Oh, I have no idea.
I gave you a tough assignment, but I sometimes what I do for students, and I would suggest people do this on their own too, is just like a piece at home. Mm-hmm. Just practice with a piece of paper and your tape measure all the different parts of the chip. Label it all out like we usually do, mm-hmm. and just practice. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times I find muscle memory is better, to actually go over it and do it. And even I totally think that people are going to make mistakes. It's okay. So that's what I'm here for, is to correct them. But for people at home, this is not an easy application. It goes against, the open arms go against a lot of the furniture that we do because of the directions.
Okay.
And I'll explain that in a minute. So. Let me just take a look at some of the measurements.
I have no idea.
I know. So we're not going to, I should say that we're doing this in muslin first. Okay. Kind of as a practice thing for you, but also from a practical standpoint. We're not doing the deck in muslin. We're going to cut the muslin to size. Mm-hmm. We're going to miter it. I'll show you how to do that. And then we're going to sew it away from the nice chalk line that you have. and then we're going to stuff our seat, and then we're going to use the muslin to kind of form the seat. That's the goal here.
Oh, okay.
So we're not cutting your fabric, and I want to let people know, to make sure they're aware, these are not your fabric measurements. Don't go to the next video to see Jimmy with the fabric measurements. These are muslin cut measurements, and they're not.
This is the interior.
We only need to come to here. So.
Oh, okay.
And I probably didn't say that to you, and I'm sorry if I didn't. But I'm looking to see, what I'm looking for now is just to see if you got your directions right. And what I usually do is I get one measurement with the extra 2 inches.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do below this, can I have your pen for a second? I'm just going to I'm going to check your measurements in a minute. I'm going to do my own measurements. We're going to do left and right seat are the same measurements. So I'm just going to block those out. And then the front seat is one measurement. So we got our left, we're doing just rectangles.
Okay.
That's our goal, rectangles, right? Mm-hmm. Left and right and front.
Okay.
So let's just take your tape measure. Let's do the left and right first. Okay, we're going to be
right?
Yes, we're going to be the up and down measurement, right, which is this measurement.
Yeah.
We're going to do 9 inches.
Yeah, I got that.
Good.
Wow.
You might want to fill it in neat so you know on the down below.
Okay.
Or where I have mine right here. If you could put a 9 on that. Side to side, what did you get?
I had 29.
That's a little generous, Jimmy.
Too generous.
I think because we're only going to be doing here to here, right? Let me just get out of the way of the camera.
Okay.
From back here to here. Plus we have to add a little bit. So 26 inches should be fine on that.
Okay.
And can you put it right here?
Okay.
Over here. So
Well,
this
I was
is our
thinking kind of
furthest.
bringing
This
it
is our
down to-
furthest measurement, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to come over this side. Our furthest measurement side to side is over here, right? Because we're going to miter out to here. What did you get side to side? I got 30.
29.
That's really good, Jimmy. But give yourself an extra inch and put it. Notice how I switched around. Put it 30 inches down here.
Okay.
And see where I got front seat here, though?
Yeah.
You want to make sure. There you go. And it should be still the same 9 inches this way, up and down. Yep. So now what we're going to do is go over to the cutting table, and I'm going to have you cut these pieces. I'm going to have you cut the rectangular pieces. Then after you cut the rectangular pieces, we're going to come back to the chair and cut your miter out on the ends. And I'll show you how to do that.
Wow.
A lot of action shots in this one, huh?
Yeah, more than I thought.
Yeah. We should do extreme upholstering. I don't know if anybody's heard of extreme ironing. Extreme ironing is when, and I'm not kidding, and I think it's a sport in Australia, Jimmy.
A sport.
Well, yes, they call it a sport. Well, they jump out of an airplane with a parachute on, and an iron and an ironing board. Probably one of those battery-operated irons,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
absolutely.
I don't think they have a long extension cord for this. But they jump out of.
10,000 foot.
But did I tell you they bring a shirt or a pair of pants with them too?
Oh, they
yeah. And they iron the shirt or the pants on the way down, and whoever has the best iron shirt
Do they have
wins.
to put them on?
I don't know about that, but we are looking into having Jimmy be the first extreme upholsterer.
Oh, good.
I think that might be.
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Watch for that, ladies and gentlemen. Like the 12th of never.
Okay, so Jimmy, you're going to cut 2 pieces, 9 by 26. And by the way, this is about 27 inches, so you should get 3 out of this. Okay. So you got 2 9 by 26 and 1 9 by 30. Okay.
9 by 26 and 9 by 30. Okay.
And you can use this. Usually on muslin, we like to use pencil, he doesn't have to be completely accurate on this, Jimmy. You can be a little off.
20, oh, okay.
You know, you don't have to feel like you're not cutting wood on this. This is not. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I would draw out the 9 inches and the 26, obviously, but it's not like you're doing a cushion. Cushions have to be perfect. This doesn't. thought I would give a scissor sharpening lesson during this class. This is a neat little machine. It's called the Scissor Pro 500, and what it is, it's got some diamond wheels in there, and one is the rough one is the fine one. And what you want to do is with your blades. The reason this machine is good and a file isn't, when you don't ever try to do your scissors with the file, it never works. I'll tell you why. Because you can never get the angle right on the blade. The blade has an angle in it. So what this does is it has a little magnet in it, so it keeps your angle proper, so that when you're doing your sharpening. Does that make sense? I think it's a great, nifty little machine. But let me just show you. I'm going to do this blade first. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to do the rough side. I'm off to the side. When you do this, if you're going to do this, you want to be right here. I'm trying to show you guys. What you want to do is try to keep that, let the magnet do its job at getting the angle of the blade. I usually do the rough about three or four times. And then I go to the fine one. You can feel the difference. You see how the blade was kind of jumping on the rough one and how it's not doing it on this one. So the other thing that you need to do is, if you can think about it, just kind of give it a little flare out like this, so that you're not pointing out your bottom blade too much. A pointed blade, I don't know if you guys ever worked with pointed blades, but they don't work so hard. The bottom has to be a little bit round, so that you're not. The roundness is so that you can kind of glide your scissors in, and then the blade takes over. So that's one blade. You flip the scissors over, you do the other side. And then you go to the fine. Give that a good shot. Yeah, those are nice. Nice shot. Try another pair. Some of these I know don't need the heavy grinding wheel, so we're going to go to the fine one. And this one. Flip it over. How you doing, Jimmy?
This is nice. These are the pair of scissors I have.
Okay.
So once you come up with your own line of scissors and knives.
We're focused on the videos, Jimmy. We like to spread the good news about the videos, about upholstery through the videos first.
Well, you're going to tell them, Kevin.
Yeah.
I haven't had anything yet.
Got some great response from Jimmy's class, his first class, which was an ottoman, and a lot of people, I think, have ottomans that they're interested in redoing. Please don't forget to tell your friends to subscribe on the YouTube channel, because in unison with the online classes, I think they're so important. The two go hand in hand, and the subscriptions are really important. It kind of gauges as to where we are on the channel. It's really important. You've heard other people talk about that too, so please do that. And thank you for signing up for the online classes. Jimmy, are you all just about ready to be scrutinized again?
Yes, no problem, Mr. K.
All right, here we go. Jimmy's getting his final cut done. And I'm going to test him to see if he did something.
Test.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Test.
So did you mark them? Do you know which one of the front, other than the fact that the front one is longer, right?
30.
Yeah, which one is 30?
All of them are 26. So
okay.
So I screwed up.
No, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Actually, which one of these? Let me just measure it. Let me just see what's going on here. So we got 2, 1, 2, 3, then a 26 there, and then another one. So let's see if it works. Let's just go over to the chair now. I think we should be okay. What we'll do is we'll sew one of these together. I'll show you what we're going to do. So we're going to go over to the chair now. What I'm going to ask Jimmy to do now is I'm going to ask him to go from this point to this point and try to get a chalk line as much as you can. I think you're going to have to freehand this. I don't think you're going to be able to use the straight edge. Yes, but you need to do both sides, okay? And then I'll catch up with you in a minute, okay? Just going to sew 2 of these together.
Right to the corner. Huh?
Yeah.
Wow. You are asking for a lot today. Hopefully this... Well, measure it out, Kevin. I hope it's
okay.
As angled as can be.
So, I just added a little piece on this, which is fine. So mistakes are common in the beginning, and I think we learn better from our mistakes. But I just let's see. What I want you to do. Line this baby up like this, and now what I need you to do is draw a pencil line and just keep referencing your chalk line. Lift it up, draw a little bit, lift it up, draw a little bit.
Chalk
all the
or
way.
pencil?
A pencil might be better, if you can. Let's see if a pencil works.
Okay.
If that doesn't work,
I'll darken it up a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's hard to trace this the way it is right now.
And you can be lined up with this line here too.
Okay. Oh, I really would have been.
You know what you could do too, Jimmy? I'm going to show you what you could do. You could go like this, right here,
Right.
and then you could go out like this,
And then draw it together.
and then go to the table and draw that a straight line from those 2 points. Then what I want you to do, I'm going to have you do that,
Okay.
right? And then what I want you to do is just put the other one, copy the other one using this one.
On the back side.
Yeah.
Okay.
But on the front's going to get 2. And why don't you?
Do this one.
Let's put this up here for now. Okay, give me the other piece that you cut there. Okay, so what Jimmy's going to do when he gets it back to the table, he's going to draw a straight line here, and then you're going to cut it about a half of an inch. You're going to cut it a half of an inch away, not on the line. Okay, because I need a stitch line. Okay, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be this side, ½ inch on this side.
Okay.
After you draw the line.
Okay.
Then you're going to put this
You want
one.
it all the way down?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, carry it all the way down. And then you're going to put this one to the here and just copy it.
Okay. The template.
Yeah. So before you go away though, I'm going to give you something else. I know.
God
This is
almighty.
important though. This is really important. So we're going to fold this in
You
half.
say that all the time.
We're going to fold this in half, and I'm going to put a little notch in here.
Okay.
Your front pieces, the front pieces has to be pretty accurate, right?
Send it.
So that that little notch line indicates the center. So what I want you to do is, before you go away to the table, because I want you to cut them all at the same time, I want you to measure from here to here, get the exact center point, and you can pin it if you like, okay? See if you can follow this. So let's do it together.
Okay.
I'm going to get a pin. This is actually great practice for your fabric too, because you're going to have to do this on your fabric.
Same exact.
Not the same exact measurements like we were saying, but it's the same principle.
Okay.
So I'm going to measure side to side.
Okay.
People think upholstery is easy.
It's a rigorous training. Did you ever tell them about the rigorous training, Kevin?
Rigorous training. We have 10 years of math classes that we must attend. No, just kidding. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this. This is the front seat. I'm going to mark it. This is the front seat. And this is the right side that we got our 2 marks there. So I'm going to draw a line right there. Jimmy, I'm going to ask you to freehand this. I don't want you to measure it. I want you to try to eyeball a half of an inch and then fold this in half and get your other side.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna do this side. This side is this is our right here. Jimmy.
Yes.
This is our right seat, right? Same thing. That I have my line there. And I'm going to ask you to cut it a 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to ask you to take this one and put it
On the other one.
Put it on this one and cut the same one, okay? And that will be our left side.
Okay.
Because I'll go to it.
Work. That's all we got.
Jimmy is busy.
Jeez, they're talking about labor laws in this country. Professor K.
Yeah.
You notice I said professor.
How you doing?
I think they're done.
Okay, Jimmy, let's just do a little,
I think I need a utility belt for my online wares.
well, you get that in your 12-year journeyman career. When you
12? You told me it was only 3.
Did I mention it's dog years?
No.
Okay, so this is the front seat, and these are the 2 sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pin these, because I'm going to sew them for you, and then we're going to get going and sewing. You're going to sew it, hand sew it onto the actual chair. So look, so we got that piece there.
Okay.
Just to let folks at home, muslin you can cut the way Jimmy cut this was fine. He put it up on top of one another. But if he had his fabric, he would have to do it face to face, right?
Okay.
Because it's a different angle, you know. So the right and the left, they're the same rough measurements. But then when you do your angle, it becomes a left and a right angle. I don't know if you followed that, but so I'm just gonna do a little pinning. We'll just put a pin here, and we'll put a pin over here, and then we're gonna watch. I'm gonna sew this up for Jimmy, and then we're gonna go to the sewing machine now, Jimmy. You can watch me do that. I'm gonna take my pin out. I'm gonna put my thread length, my stitch length to about 2. I'm gonna fold this over, and I'm gonna stitch this down. I'm gonna do a little back stitch, and then I'm gonna go right through to the other end, and I'll probably put a little stitch over there. A little back stitch there too, right? That's one side. Okay.
Oh, you're pretty good there, Mr.
Well,
K.
we try here at Upholstery on Broadway, Broadway Upholstery School, to satisfy all the needs of all our clients. How was that, Jimmy?
That was good. Now, if you
Was that good? Was that a good step for your husband?
you sounds like you said it at least once before in your life.
Well, you know, it's a standard.
Sales pitch. That's okay. So when you have the upholstery convention, when is that coming up?
Well, you know what? Funny you should mention that, but if the online classes are successful enough, we're going to be taking the show on the road.
No.
We are Broadway Upholstery.
Oh, Father, how long is Broadway?
Well,
Pretty long.
you can go anywhere. I'm thinking maybe, we're 205A here. I was thinking maybe we could take a long trip to 320 down the street.
We won't get lost, so I think we probably should maybe, you know.
We have to book early.
Yeah, just in case. Make sure everybody's on board. Yeah, see if they can stay out that long.
All right, now let's go over to Jimmy's chair. Okay, so now what Jimmy's going to be tasked with, he's going to stitch this down, a hand stitch. It doesn't have to be, don't think you have to be pretty with it or anything.
Okay.
It's just and we're going to be this way, so we'll ask you to put a fold in it, but I'm going to show you how to pin it. I'm going to grab some pins.
Just the front alone, Kevin?
The whole thing.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to fold it back on all sides?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can work over here, Jimmy, if you want. So your pins are here. So if you can get this pin down a little bit, like so.
Okay.
As tight as you can. It's a little tough to get in here.
Well, the burlap's a little not as taut as it should be.
A little loose, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I think you might be better off doing, Jimmy? I think you might be better off doing some pin tacking.
You think? To hold it
To
down?
hold it in place. I'll show you how to do that.
Like a thumbtack type of thing?
So Jimmy had a good point. The burlap is very loose, so it's going to be hard for him to pin that. So what I think we could do is use our tool pin tacking to prep this for Jimmy to stitch it down. So if you're careful with it and you pick your spot too, you don't want to be in your finished arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to go just like that, just very lightly. See that? And then we're going to pull it to this side. Do that a little pull. Alright. And then look, we're going to put a pin here.
Wow, you think of everything.
We can even be on that side if you want.
Okay.
That's fine.
Don't want to ruin that grade 8
Yeah,
pine.
that's right. And then we'll pull that down a little bit there. And then watch. I'm going to take this, fold it a little bit. Yeah. Get another pin tack down there.
Wow, okay.
So I think pinning is really important. Pinning it tight is important because it just makes it easy to stitch.
Yeah, so it's not floating all over the place.
Yeah. So you're going to start, you're left-handed, so you'll start on that side. I'll get you set up with some crib.
How do you know it's left-handed?
I don't know, I just suspected that.
Oh, you're psychic too, huh?
You just get that in
Is
there. Okay.
We'll give you a psychic reading after the show's over.
So you have plenty of space. Let me get you the needle that you need. Actually, for pinning purposes, Jimmy, you can get a pin. See how this is sliding down over here?
Yeah.
You can get it. We'll get a pin right here if it doesn't slide down on you. Just like that, okay? This one seems to be okay. That's in a good position. Just like this is good.
Stitch
This is
it up.
fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. Do you know how to do a back stitch, Jimmy?
A back stitch? I haven't done one of those in a long time, Mr. K.
Well, I'm going to get you started on this side with the back stitch.
Do you want...
Give me, yeah, that's good. That's right. She was going to use a hand stitching twine or thread, and then he's going to use a diamond pointed 4-inch curved needle, which might be a little too big. Let me just see if there's another one down there.
Below that, to the right?
This one. This one. It's a 3-inch. It's
Ah.
a smaller needle.
How'd you know that?
So I don't know. We're just picking them out of
You are a jack of all trades, a master of none.
So what we're going to do is thread this for you. I'm going to get you started. So I'm just going to get in here, Jimmy. I'm just going to bring that up. You don't have to go all the way down, thankfully. You can start it right about there. I'm coming this way, and I'm going to get a knot over here. And then we're just going to back stitch. A back stitch is just you're behind each stitch. That's all. Watch. See that? And then you come out, and then you just behind each stitch. See this?
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done that.
And I'm doing that as a left-handed. I'm right-handed, so
Wow.
I think for you it should be a little
Wow,
easier.
so that was another
Okay?
3-4 years of training, right?
Yes.
You are, wow. How did you have time for anything else, Kevin?
I don't know.
You don't know, or you don't want to remember.
We ran out of time today because it's a hard
I wanted
process.
to take it home today, too.
Yeah. So what I'm going to have you do for homework, though,
What?
is you're gonna just finish stitching this up so that the next class we're ready to start stuffing our seat.
Oh,
And I just wanted to mention one thing
Yes.
before we move on. People are probably wondering, why didn't he make the muslin out of the deck too? Well, the reason I didn't do that is because I want to make sure that this is clean for our fabric. I want this flat. I don't want too much to get in the way of that.
Okay.
So that's why we're going through the trouble of this.
Is there going to be any padding underneath
Just very
this?
little.
Oh, okay.
Little, we can't have it come up too high because we have to we can't have the deck too high.
Okay.
So the seat's got to be the high part. So we've got a lot of work on this little chair. People don't realize the labor that's involved until they take one of my classes, and then they become my best customer because they say,
I'm leaving that to you.
So we'll see you next time. We had fun. Jimmy earned, I think, maybe a little bit of a gold star.
Oh,
I think I see a little speck
Maybe
there.
I was hoping for a Duncan's card, but that's okay. Maybe next time.